I'm doing a little bit of an experiment this morning. A lightweight paper puncher, a heavier weight paper puncher, a lightweight hollow point, a heavyweight hunt, another heavyweight hunter, a good all-round general purpose dome pellet there, and a round ball. All I'm going to do is just shoot into a buck. A lot of people, they use ballistic gel or they make their own substitute. Some people use wax, soap, all sorts of things. But a foam buck seems to be the most common. So I'm just going to try this little experiment, see which one penetrates the best and have a look at the results. One shot each. I'm using the 1-inch repair spots, Birchwood KC Shoot and See. This hole is by the Logan, the Gammo ball, the Bismag, the Super Mag from RWS, the AA Fields, domes, the Super Hollow Point and the Hobby. Just having a quick look inside, you can see slight tears there. You can pass a pen through it. Not a complete perfect hole, but it's pierced the paper. And further back, somewhere, there's an example. There's a perfect hole. Another one down below, a perfect hole. So with this little experiment, I'm measuring two things: how deep the perfect hole goes to and how deep the fractured paper goes to. And I'm going to see if I can work something out and convince myself that I'm doing some sort of thought-provoking and meaningful experiment. What I've come up with is a list here: the impact hole, the aftershock hole, that's where there's a slight tear, and the difference between the impact hole and the last aftershock hole. The Logan, the AA Field, the Hobby, the Ball, the Bismag, the RWS, Super Hollow Point and the Super Mag. Now, the Logan went to page 52, the AA Field went to page 40, Hobby to 32, Bismag to 28, the Super Hollow Point went to 24, and I'm very surprised at this, the Super Mag went to 14. But I also looked at the aftershock, as I call it, where there was just a slight tear in the paper. The Bismag went all the way down to 138, along with the Fields, the Logan, then the Ball to 124, and you get the general idea. I just wrote down all the different numbers there, and I also calculated the difference between the perfect hole and the slight fracture hole. Bismag come up on top. The difference between the perfect hole and the last page for the fractured hole was 110 pages, and it goes down and down. And the Hobby, that still went a 52 page difference. And out of all these calculations, I come up with points. The AA Fields constantly come second, with the impact hole, the aftershock hole and the difference, and they got 6 points, and to my calculation the less points was the better. And so we went down, and the Ball, that was 4th on every category out of the 3, And then the RWS Super Hollow Point, although I calculated it to be last, it comes 6th in all the 3 categories. And I made a little comment how they deformed. The Bismags and the AA Fields, although they retained a basic shape, they did deform completely all over the pellet. The Logan and the Super Mag, only the front deformed, well, mostly the front. The Hobby and the Super Hollow Point, they just sort of compressed. They didn't flatten out like a cornflake as you would expect if it hit something solid like steel, but it just compressed into a smaller size. And the bore stayed nearly the same. So out of all these, my favourite 3 is the AA Fields, the Bismag and the Logan.